Simple Outskirts of Pandora is the impending open-job game that is being created by Ubisoft for the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and the PC variant. At this point today we got a fresh out of the plastic new break about the game, which incorporates a great deal of game subtleties on the platform where they are not referenced, a lot of data about in-game battle framework and how the story missions will be working. We have at long last gotten a great deal of data about the open universe of this game. Now the principal thing we know with respect to battle as indicated by the leaker here is that they say that the players will actually want to tame animals in Pandora, and clearly when it comes to Symbol you all have seen the films. Furthermore, since it appears like the game will have a thief shooter-like instrument where you have a pack of various plunders with various details, and you'll likewise have the option to make new things like the bows, weapons and a bundle of various stuff obviously. So the leaker here affirms that the game is without a doubt going to be RPG. I know that some of you all will like this. What's more, I genuinely feel that a greater part of players don't actually partake in the RPG factors with regards to a great narrating game like the Symbol, and the last thing you need to be seeing is RPG mechanics that is about to break the cinematic of this game. And presently, how about we continue on toward the journey arrangement of this game, where the leaker has now expressed that story missions in this game shows up to be different contrasted with some other open world games that Ubisoft has ever made, and he essentially makes sense of that. Ubisoft has at last disposed of the conventional mission marker thingy where you have like various journeys and afterwards you have a marker where you need to go to that specific point and you have a storyline or a mission or anything that it is. That won't be something very similar with Symbol's Wilderness of Pandora, but this time it will be a greater amount of an investigation sort of a thing where the game is naturally going to lead the player to a specific area, or you will have an emotional accessible region where you could go in and attempt to pay special attention to hints and everything, basically like what we have seen with games like The Witcher 3 Wild Chase, where you don't precisely have a specific mission, however at that point you can simply circumvent the world to attempt to investigate and attempt to see whatever might be possible, track down various signs and unique potential outcomes which could prompt various results. So that is something that Ubisoft is attempting to go for with Symbol or Wilderness of Pandora, and James Cameron has actually said that the motivation behind why the game is presently right now postponed is on the grounds that he needs to place in his in-whole vision into this game, and he needs to work with the game as it were that he doesn't permit Ubisoft to destroy any of the legend or any of what Symbol Motion Pictures essentially address, in light of the fact that, as he has referenced, Ubisoft has a great deal of various plans for them and he simply doesn't need any of their own plans to destroy the game and the experience of what the motion pictures address in any kind of ways. So which is the reason James Cameron has actually dominated this undertaking as far as investigating, also ensuring that each and every perspective of the game is done totally great. What's more, finally talking about the open world framework, one of the significant things that in reality energized me such a great amount about the open world is that it is obviously said to be a monstrous open job. It's not going to be little. We will get to investigate lands that we have never seen before in both the motion picture Symbol Section 1. Furthermore, Symbol of the Method of Water, though in Boondocks of Pandora we will be seeing a lot of new things that we've never seen, and that clearly makes me very eager to see what Ubisoft has available for ourselves, and not simply that. The leaker has likewise expressed that the open world will quite change after some time, which we genuinely don't have a specific subtleties on how this will work, and the main thing that I might actually consider is simply the plants and trees and the vegetations are basically going to fill progressively. So perhaps suppose for instance you're playing the game at the present time and afterward there are a lot of various plants in one specific piece of the guide, and we should, let's assume, you return to a similar area following a week, and afterward you take a gander at the same plants and the plants are no more little that plants are truly developed. It's developed into a tree and the nature is essentially advancing throughout progressively. What's more, I must say however, this of course could be quite possibly of the most the game are totally going to respond to those changes, and one explicit model that he says is just the animals won't be flying into the blustery climate, which intends that if you're playing us in Navi and you have a seat or ecran, then you will fundamentally not have the option to fly these creatures in the sky on the grounds that the weather conditions isn't great. So these are obviously to a greater degree a sensible methodology, and I believe that is totally phenomenal to see what Symbol Outskirts of Pandora has a colossal vision for their game, basically equivalent to their motion pictures, and I'm really eager to see what Ubisoft has available for us now. Obviously Gigantic Amusement and Ubisoft are both working at present on this venture, and the game will be delivering someplace late of 2023, which is this year at the present time, and Symbol Boondocks of Pandora will emerge just for the cutting edge console spirits and the PC adaptation, basically the PS5, Xbox Series X as well as the PC adaptation. Now sadly I know many individuals have been expecting this game for the last Gen 2, yet yet it appears as though it's not going to be the situation in the majority of the impending games. Doesn't appear as they will any more delivery games for the last Shin consoles, and no doubt. Let me in on down underneath in the remarks which stage will you all be playing Simple Wildernesses of Pandora on. Will it be the PS5, Xbox Series X or the PC? Also, similar to you all definitely know, I generally keep you folks refreshed with all the most recent data that you folks need pretty much every one of the forthcoming open world games, since that is what I cover on these channels. In the event that you folks are searching for a YouTube channel that fundamentally covers each and every data associations, interactive experiences and essentially everything about open world games, then this channel right here will be your main stop search for all that you want about gaming. So make a point to go for it by into my feed and turn the warnings on, and the most significant step of all, ensure that you all are sending your warning settings to all, since, supposing that you don't do that to the broadcast YouTube stage, they just try not to send you all the warnings of my day-to-day recordings. So ensure that you guys are going on turning it on, setting it to all that harmony lines, assuming that you all expressed continue and partake in this video to help me as a substance maker. Kindly try to go ahead, show your help to this video, furthermore to the channel and to me as a maker, by essentially going on and dropping a huge like. It truly does help me out to get persuaded in request to improve content for you folks each and every day. So please require a couple of moments of your time, show your help, and all things considered I trust you folks how and whatever the rest of the day, and I'll see you guys